Hi everybody, today I am taking a look at the Goldmine and Coco Daily Planner. I actually received this as swag at the Sugary Gal Shop and decided I was going to take a look at it for Vlogmas. I checked the website for information about this planner. There wasn't really a lot on there in terms of specifications. It's $65, an undated daily, 6 months worth of daily pages and 12 undated months. It has a removable cover and it is spiral bound. The other thing I know is that Goldmine and Coco is a Black owned business. The cover is really pretty. I love like the coppery foil on it. It says her life is her art. So it is gendered if that is something that is not going to work for you. The coil is a spiral. It's a plastic spiral, it feels like. And it is black. The cover is a nice thick 10 mil feeling. It feels like 10 mil laminate, and it is indeed removable. I don't know for sure if an Erin Condren coil would fit, but I feel like it might. They have a very similar kind of punch to them. And then the back cover has the same pattern, and in the same like coppery foil, it says Goldmine and Coco and the goldmineandcoco.com. Opening this up, it says this planner belongs to, the paper feels very thick. I would imagine this is at least 100 GSM paper. It's also a bright white paper, and it is fairly smooth without being like that buttery smooth that the plum paper has. There's a bunch of quotes here. Looks like they are mostly like affirmation type situations. And then we have holidays here. They look like U.S. holidays, 2021 and 2022. Like the U.S. and bank holiday type things. The only religious holidays listed here are Christian holidays. And then we have a 2021 and a 2022 year overview. I'm imagining that that's part of because I got this in swag. So I would assume that if you got one now, it would probably be updated 2022 and 2023, but I don't know that for sure. We have this little section here with boxes for you to fill in. You could use it for goals. You could use it for affirmations. You could use it for memories, all sorts of things. Then we have this divider, which has, it says no excuses and has a really pretty illustration on it. It is a coated feeling cardstock, very like a nice thick coated cardstock, and then there is a tab that is laminated and it says monthly in a cursive font. Here's a JP Morgan quote, and then we get into the monthly. So you get 6 weeks, which is really awesome. A lot of undated planners tend to only give you 5 weeks, but with a 6-week layout, if you put January in here, my birthday would get its own day, I'm pretty sure. And then there's this hexagon situation, which I'm seeing kind of throughout it as like, I think just part of their aesthetic. It is very neutral. There's no line on either end of the calendar. And then there is a lined notes section. You could just put the month right up here at the top. And then you get a look ahead. You have a half of the page is a dot grid. The grid itself, it's 5 millimeters square. You have a space for goals, and there's 6 goals, space for 6 bills, and a space for 6 important with little hexagons that you can check off. And all of the font is black, or at the very least, a very dark gray. Then we go into, there's a quote, and then we go into the next month, and it repeats. And so this repeats for 12 blank months. And every one of these little like inspirational or like motivational blurbs is different. We get to the end, and here is a little self-care coloring sheet that gives you ideas, more rest, read every day, light a candle, relax, listen to music, work out, drink more water, binge watch. And there's some lines here for you to write in your own self-care, and you can color it. I love these. I'm not a fan of people in my planner. It kind of gives me the creeps. I get a very like uncanny valley kind of situation happening, but these are very cute illustrations. And so this brings you into your daily section. It says 6 months worth of daily pages. So I'm wondering if it is 180 pages or if it is whatever 350. How many days are there in a year? I'm losing it. So I'm wondering if this is 180 pages or maybe it's 180, like 2 pages or whatever to be like half of the year. I don't have that information. It just says 6 months worth of daily pages, but it looks like they're all the same. So it's just a big glut of daily pages. They are undated. They have the hexagons on the sides. There's a spot for the date, today's goal, important, personal, notes, and then you have a to-do area that has like a column with a line where you could turn this into a time or into a check mark if you wanted to. And it looks like there's 13 lines here for the to-do list, and then there's remember, deadlines, and tomorrow. And it just repeats for all of the days. Then you get to the end and it says notes. And here's another illustration. And then the notes pages are dot grid, but it's a very, very small dot grid. Like very small. I'm zooming you in so you can get a look at it, because if the dot grid that was earlier in the planner is 5 millimeters square, it looks like this one is 3 millimeters square. So it's very, very small. And then it just says notes up here in the corner of every page. And you get a nice handful of these. And then that's the end of the planner. So it's a pretty basic setup. There's not a ton of extra bells and whistles. However, the coil seems to be nice quality, everything it's plastic, but it's like, seems to be fairly sturdy. The paper feels pretty heavy duty, and there's a lot going on here. So let's test this. And I'm actually going to go to the front of the planner to test this, because I feel like that dot grid is so small that it would be difficult to see what's going on there. So instead, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 2021 page, because if you are going to win this, because I know I'm going to give it away because it's just, I don't need this planner, that you probably aren't going to care about the 2021 page anyway. Like, you could tear this out with the 2021 and these holidays pages and really be just fine. All right, so for my pen test, I have my Pentel Energel Clean 05 gel pen, my Pitt Artist Pen fine liner in small. I have a Tombow dual brush pen, a Zig Clean Color dot pen, and a Zebra mild liner. I did press down lightly and then hard with the Zig pen, and then I did cross the highlighters over itself a couple times, because that usually happens, and I'm heavy-handed. We've got shadowing on all three of the markers, no bleed through. It looks like the Tombow might bleed through if I press down harder, and I did press down fairly hard with it. There is very, very, very little ridging, like next to no ridging with the gel pen and no ridging with the fine liner, and very little shadowing with either of those. So it's a nice thick paper. I would say that you need to be careful if you're going to go heavy with the markers on it, but generally speaking, it feels like it should stand up pretty well. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty quick review, because it's a fairly simple planner. It's got the months. I don't really see the need for all 12 months, since it's only got 6 months worth of daily pages. Personally, it's very neutral. I think in terms of style, the things personally that I love are how neutral it is, how it is very simple, yet the print is dark enough to be able to read it easily. And the paper quality is nice. And the coil I'm not usually a huge fan of plastic coils, but it seems really sturdy. So that's for my personal taste. That's what I love. For my not so much love for personal taste, it would be all of the illustrations that are in it. It's like I said, I don't like having people in my planner. I don't like them looking at me. It kind of gives me the willies. And there's just a lot of these like coloring sheets and like the extraness of the cover and all of that and all of these quotes. That's just not my thing, but that's personal preference. I think the biggest issue I run into with this planner is the price. $65 for a 6-month planner it's pricey. I've reviewed pricey planners recently. I've reviewed that Emily, the Simplified planner. I've reviewed the Moxie Life planners. If the quality is there, then I don't mind the priciness so much when it comes to reviewing it, even if it may not be something I would use. I understand everybody has different budgets, but I also know that when one has a small business, sometimes prices have to go higher, because that's how you can like actually afford to stay in business. The quality of this planner is fine. Like, it's a nice planner. I feel like for $65, I would probably have wanted to see a metal spiral, maybe. That just could be a quibble. So what do I think about this planner? I think if this is something you want, it seems to be solidly put together. And that's great if this is something that you're looking to buy. I will be giving this one away, so if you're super interested in it, just make sure that you are following me. By the time you see this, we will be getting towards the end of Vlogmas, and I am giving planners away whenever I seem to get around to it. So just make sure you're subscribed to me and following me on Instagram at Llama Letters, and subscribe with the notifications on here so that you can catch the community post, because I'm keeping my giveaways only up for 24 hours before I give a planner away. So if you want this one or one of the other ones that has not been given away yet, just be sure to be paying attention. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Any planners you'd like me to take a look at in 2022. This should be my last planner review for 2021 unless I move things around, which is entirely possible. So past Cindy is saying this, but future you may know differently. Who Who knows? Regardless, I'd love planner suggestions for me to look at next year. I'm trying to review as many as I can without as many repeats, except when a repeat is something that everybody is interested in. Suggestions in the comments. All of that to say. I've rambled enough. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, my dudes, peace.